Alright guys, so what I wanted to do was, this is like a re-recording of a video I did a long time ago when I was first starting out as a coach. And that's just taking a quick minute to talk about supplements, especially protein powders, talk about some of the other supplements that you might see or hear about in the Faster Way as well as you go about your journey. So let's start with the Faster Way protein powder. Now, this is an older batch that I have, so if you get yours might look a little bit different. But this is the hydrolyzed beef protein powder. And I just want to actually show you the ingredients list here really quick. I don't know if you can see that, but the reason why I wanted to show you that is because it's really short. So it just has the beef protein, cocoa, sunflower lecithin, and then basically stevia. So it's like 4 ingredients total. There are no cleaner proteins that are dairy-free and gluten-free. I have looked. This is the cleanest one you can get. They do make a pea protein as well, so if you don't really like the hydrolyzed beef flavor, that's another option. But I will say it is one of the ones that's kind of upper in the price range because it is so clean. So it's not that you're not getting value for your money, but it might not be affordable for some people. So I've made it my mission to check out a few different ones, and I'm going to show you those. So these next 3 that I'm going to show you, I got all at Walmart. Okay, Orgain, this is one that's really common. You can find it even in like the bulk sizes, especially at Sam's. It tastes okay, it tastes pretty good. This is one I started with as a new client over a year ago. I stuck with it for a long time, but once I become more advanced, I started really looking at the ingredients list, and it just wasn't as clean as I wanted it to be. It has a relatively long ingredients list, but most of it is okay. Basically, the first part of it is explaining what their protein blend is. The second part of it is explaining what their creamer base is. But then you get into things like the hyaluronic sunflower oil, which in large amounts can be inflammatory to some people. Now, if you guys know me and you know my journey, you know that like inflammatory oils is a big thing for me in my joints. I never had any problems with this. Like sunflower oil, that's pretty much like the lowest on the tier I can go with before I start to feel all that joint inflammation. But everybody's different, right? So that's why you got to kind of try different things and see what works best for you. But then once I started getting lower on the list, it started finding things like, yeah, it has stevia, but it also has erythritol, which is a sugar alcohol, which can increase your cravings for sweet things and sugars and things like that. So it doesn't really add a whole lot of calories, and it helps with the flavor, but it doesn't necessarily help you in the long run. It can also affect your gut biome. So I still have a little bit of this laying around, but it's very much been phased out. I think vanilla is the only one that I have left of this, and that's because I really just don't use it that much. There's another one that I tried that I don't have here, but it had like a gut fiber, and I think it was called like Garden of Life or something, and that one was pretty good. I just wasn't a huge fan of the flavor, so that's why I didn't stick with it. Vega is another one that I've tried. Now, after talking price points and price points per serving, this one is actually pretty comparable to the Faster Way one once you balance it out per servings, because I think there's only like 10 servings in this little bitty jar, and this cost, I want to say it was like 20 bucks. So yeah, the Faster Way protein is closer to 40 right now, but you're getting a whole basically 30 servings worth this versus this you're only getting 10. But if you don't really use shakes a whole lot, or you're just kind of trying out whether or not you even like them, this is a good place to start. Now, this one does have a little bit of cane sugar in it, but the ingredients list is really small, and I do like that. It's just got pea protein, cane sugar, cocoa powder, coconut cream powder, and then some natural flavors. This one is not technically gluten-free or dairy-free just because it's made in a facility that processes those things as well. But that being said, doesn't have any that are directly added into it, so keep that in mind. Last thing that I have on protein powders is this toned it up protein. Now, I've been stuck on this one for a little bit because I really like it. But the reason why I really like it is because it has this coconut undertone that I haven't really experienced in any of the other powders that I've tried. So if you don't like coconut, especially the vanilla, I wouldn't recommend. I have the chocolate one as well, and you can't taste it as much in that one. You can't taste the coconut as much in the chocolate, but you really taste it in the vanilla. But if you pair this with like some tropical fruits and things like that in your smoothie, it's like being transported to the beach. But this one has a pretty clean ingredients list. So it has just pea protein. It does have gluten-free oats in it. Inulin, which is like a plant-based sugar, so that one's okay. Coconut creamer, which is theirs is made from coconut oil, and cane sugar, sea salt, and monk fruit extract. So this ingredients list is a little bit longer, but everything on here is Faster Way friendly. So that's why I do accept this one. Again, if you're talking price point per serving, it's really not that much cheaper than the Faster Way protein. I think there's 15 servings in this one, and I pay about 20 bucks for this as well. The reason why I keep it around is because I really like the flavor, especially in like tropical smoothies. I like that coconut undertone. So different thing is, if you got the Pasture Way protein, you could always put a little bit of coconut oil in it. That helps give you healthy fats and things like that as well, and then will also give you the flavor. But this is what I have for now. It's easy for me to grab, especially since we go through it at varying points. Other things I wanted to talk about, if you are able to other things I wanted to talk about, if you are not allergic to nuts and you like peanut butter flavored things, get you some peanut butter powder. This one is Simple Truth brand, which is just made by Kroger. PB Fit is the most common one that you'll see marketed, but most stores I have found have their own brand. You just always want to check the ingredient label so you know exactly what you're getting. This one has peanut flour, raw cane sugar, and salt in it. But the reason why the peanut butter powder is helpful is because, number one, you can mix it in things like yogurt, just like you can with the protein powders, but also you cut the fat out a lot versus adding like actual regular peanut butter. So that can help you with your macros, especially on those regular macro days. Another one we like to talk about is collagen. Now this is again like the basic collagen that I went with. You always want to look on the ingredients list, and it should just be like collagen peptides bovine, which that's what this is. This is the Orgain brand as well. This one is unflavored, so it's nice to mix into things that you're cooking with. You can put it in shakes, you can put it in your coffee in the morning, you can put it in tea, I've put it in grits before, and it actually gives it like a creamier consistency. So that's why I keep this one around, because it's in a large volume, and it's easy to cook with. I do have a few of the Faster Way single sample packets left, because we do have our own collagen as well. The collagen on that one, I will tell you, is better. This one does have a little, like you can taste it a little bit, even though it's unflavored, versus the Faster Way one, I don't taste it at all. So I do have a preference to that one. I just, again, have varying amounts that I use the collagen, so that's why I don't have it on subscription. I just kind of buy it as needed, and right now I only have the single packet, so that's why I didn't bring it for the video. This is another one that I use. This is Vitals Protein. Now, Faster Way just recently started doing, they just recently released a strawberry lemonade collagen. I haven't been able to get my hands on that one yet. But from everybody that I know that has, they've all really enjoyed it. So this is just lemon flavored. This is Vital Proteins. This is one that I just pick up from Walmart. It's 20 bucks for a bottle. But if you can get your hands on the Faster Way strawberry lemonade one, I've only heard great things. And you can mix it with like carbonated like lime water and things like that, and it's just, you just make really great drinks out of it, versus this is just tastes like lemon. But it's still pretty good. Collagen can help you hit those protein goals. It can kind of round out if you're a little bit short. It is a supplement, so we don't want to depend on it. We don't want you having to use this every day to hit your protein goal, but it can help kind of round it out if you're a little bit short, but you've hit all your other goals. The other thing that's really nice about collagen is that it helps with improving the strength of your hair. It helps with growing your nails. It helps with skin. It helps with your joints. So if you have any of those things that are problematic, you probably want to consider adding some collagen to your diet anyways, even if it does become just a daily supplement that you take. A couple other things that I wanted to hit on really quick. Other things that I wanted to hit on really quick before I let you go. Things that you might hear from time to time, especially if you're doing the Faster Way workout. So you might hear about our BCAAs. These are branched chain amino acids. This helps with muscle recovery. It helps improving performance, especially if you're taking it during the workout. There's a few different ways in which you can take BCAAs to get some benefits from it. I have tried taking it after the workout, and I didn't really notice that much of an effect, but I then tried starting to drink it during my workout, and I did notice then that I could lift a little bit heavier, and I didn't have quite as much muscle soreness other than from lifting heavier. And they taste good. They taste, I mean, they're pretty good. I don't know that they're available right now in the shop, but you can always look. Some of that stuff, basically, we got sold out of them originally. Basically, they were so popular that everybody bought into them, and so we were just waiting for them to be restocked. You can set it up for a subscription. They can come once a month. They can come however often you want. Or you can just buy it one time and see if you like it. I mean, if nothing else, it tastes pretty good. And it's clean. This does not break a fast. As far as the ingredients that it has in it, it's citric acid, and then it has the BCAA compounds, and then it has stevia and spirulina, which is for color. It's like a natural plant part. And the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is creatine. Now, there's a lot of various literature out there about creatine and what it does and everything else like that. We don't have a creatine currently that's being sold in Pasture Way, but I was really curious about it because some of the pro trainers have been talking about it, you know, on their feeds and things like that. So I started reading into it, and it can help with performance. It can help with mental clarity. With me, it definitely helps with energy a little bit without having to hit that like second cup of coffee. Also works by like helping draw water into the cells, so you will probably notice an improvement in muscle tone, which is one of the big reasons why I continue to take it, because I definitely do notice it. However, with creatine, you do have to take it every day. Now, they have supplements that you can take like a pill. This is a powder that you mix in a drink. I tried this once because I was like, I was kind of on the fence, so I just got it from Walmart. This was the cleanest one I could find. It just has the creatine in it and stevia. So it does have a lemon lime flavor. I will be honest with you, the first time I tried it, I was almost put off. It was like almost too sweet. But now I really enjoy it every day. It almost to me tastes like drinking like a little lemonade, like a diet lemonade or something like that. Like it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet. And so it's become part of like my daily morning routine. It has instructions on it because it's creatine's dosed by weight, on how much you should be consuming based off of if you're doing it for maintenance, if you're doing it for a really intense workout, or if you're doing it for recovery. If you are a plant-based eater, especially, I highly, highly recommend that you try either the creatine or some BCAAs, even if it's not a Pasture Way BCAAs, because a lot of times with plant-based proteins, it's not a complete protein. So we do get a lot of our protein from plants, even if we're meat-based eaters. But those protein chains and things that you see, that you find in meat, are not exactly the same chains that you find in plants. So sometimes you're missing some of those essential amino acids that you need to fully be able to develop your muscle and your muscle tone specifically. So that's where kind of these supplements come in. Again, they're supplements. We don't want to have to depend on them. Obviously, creatine you have to take every day if it's going to be effective. But they're just supposed to help you reach your goals. So if you're relying on these because that's the only way you're going to reach your goals, then we have a problem. These are to help you reach your goals faster. So the only way you're going to do that is if your nutrition is on point, if you're making sure that you're consuming plenty of protein, if you're making sure that you're consuming plenty of fluid in general so that your body can continue to build muscle and lose fat and shape and tone and function how it needs to. Big things to take away from this are that there are tons of ways to reach your goals, and I want it to be feasible for you, but we also want to make everything that we put into our bodies, that we fuel ourselves with, as clean as possible. We don't want any naked carbs. Now, the great thing about smoothies and making shakes is that you get the best of both worlds, so you can balance it to what you need. Flood your body with micronutrients regardless of what the season is, regardless of if it's fresh fruit or frozen fruit. Even frozen fruit is frozen like at its prime ripeness, so you're getting all those micronutrients. You can build in unders of like vegetables and things like kale and rice. Cauliflower is a big one that people put in that's really popular to help get in a full, well-rounded diet, but yet you're mostly getting the flavor of whatever your protein is. And then you're like, that's great, but I just really don't have the time to make a shake, or maybe I need something I can throw in my lunchbox, and I don't like mixing my protein powders later because it just doesn't taste great to me. I want you to be able to enjoy your food, because that's what's going to help you to avoid cravings and things like that in the long run. So find you one brand, keep a couple on hand of a couple of pre-made shakes that are clean. This one is owned. I'm going to talk to you about this in just a second, but basically you're going to have to do some research, and you're going to have to do some trial and error yourself, because there's a lot of them out there that are dairy based. If you're somebody that's really affected by dairy and it's become really inflammatory for you, then you're not going to be able to do anything that has whey protein or anything like that in it. You're going to have to stick to either a beef protein or a pea protein blend. And then on the opposite end of that, if you're somebody that the pea protein is inflammatory for and it makes you constipated and things like that, then you're either going to have to go to beef protein or to a whey protein. Maybe you're vegetarian and you're like, well, beef protein is just off the table. Well, then there's always an option. That's the point, is that there's always an option. It's my job as your coach to help you kind of navigate those hurdles. So please don't be afraid to reach out. But this is one that I keep on hand. I actually tried to get some more earlier and they were out at the store. Owen makes a chocolate one, they make a vanilla one, they make a cookies and cream one, but the cookies and cream one's really kind of, it's not that great, just get chocolate or vanilla. But I usually keep the chocolate one on hand because to me this tastes like Yoo-hoo. It's really easy for me to down and go. It's really easy for me to drink while I'm driving. Now if you have a good shaker bottle and like the fast whey protein, you put your milk in there and you shake it as you go, then that's better than this, okay? This is just like I'm in a pinch. You're using it kind of sparingly. You should not be drinking these all the time. You know why, guys? Because this is not a whole food, number one. But number two, like anything that you can just drink off the shelf that's stable and ready to go is not doing your gut any justice, okay? I've seen a lot of shakes out there that are really popular, but when you start looking at the ingredients list and you start looking at, can you recognize the ingredient on there as coming from a plant or having a mother, coming from the earth or having a mother, then you start realizing that there's a lot of stuff in there that you really shouldn't be eating. So yeah, it's 20 grams of protein and it only has 3 net carbs and it only has, 5 grams of fat, but what it's doing to your body is not helpful. If you're able to make your shake, you're getting those micronutrients. So everything that you're putting into your body is basically a whole food because the most processed thing is your protein, okay? I say all that to let you guys know I live in the real world. I'm right there with you. I'm struggling with time crunches too. I'm struggling with availability too. So that's why I do go over these with you. So this one has the own pea protein blend, which I think they do actually sell by themselves too. I'm not 100% sure what's in that one. So again, you'd want to read your label. But it also has soluble fiber. It does have some cane sugar in it. So it has about 4 grams of added sugar. So there's your net carbs there because it has 5 grams of fiber. So, it has sunflower oil in it and sunflower lecithin. Then it has pink sea salt, guar gum, which is a stabilizer, but it is a plant-based stabilizer. So we'll kind of let that one slide as like okay-ish. Like we don't want to be having it all the time, but we'll let it slip in there. A greens blend, which consists of broccoli, spinach, and kale. So we are getting some vitamins and things like that from our plants, our extra plants. And then it has monk fruit extract, which is plant-based sweetener. So all in all, is this still very processed? Yes. Should you be drinking this every day? No. It even says on here, this is not a meal, this is the snack. It's just to help you boost your goals. Okay. This is a snack. This is one of the better ones because it is tested for the top 8 allergens. And they test every lot, so there's a lot of quality control there. But it doesn't have any dairy, it doesn't have any gluten, so it's already faster way, as close to on track as we can right there, other than it being packaged. No nuts, no fish, no shellfish, no chemicals, no fillers, no artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners. Everything in here comes from plants. So yeah, I mean, if you have to pick one, this is one of the better ones to pick. Muscle milk, what are some of the other ones that are popular? Premier Protein. They each serve their purpose. If that's the only thing you have available, then by all means go for it. But there are better options out there. And don't be afraid to try new things. That's kind of the biggest takeaway from all of this. Is just don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to invest in your health. And like, yeah, maybe you don't like it and you don't buy that again, but you at least tried it. You try to do something better for yourself. So let me know if you guys find anything that's really clean and out there, and because I'm always looking to add things to my inventory. See, Simple Clean Eats is a protein powder that I've seen, that I've heard about people ordering. It is really clean, but it is a whey-based one, so it is dairy-based, so keep that in mind as well. But that's one that sometimes people find and they like a lot to use in baking. So that's kind of what all of fat loss is about, is balancing your carbohydrates with your protein and finding ways to do it. That's my little supplement video. I don't want to hold you guys any longer. But let me know if you have any questions. I'm here for you.